Let's talk about the Supreme Court. Today they heard a Second Amendment case around domestic violence restraining orders, the Rahimi case, and they've taken up two other cases. One that has to do with the Second Amendment, and the other one has to do with the First Amendment for Second Amendment group. Before I jump into it, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, CMMG. The new Mark 47 Dissent has been released today. If you see one, behind me it's in midnight bronze. CMMG makes a lot of things, a lot of tools, different sizes of things you put on the tools and in the tools and make the tools run. And if you use code GNG10 when you purchase your tools, you have to purchase a tool with that, you'll get a free mystery box as well. That was smooth. Mystery boxes from CMMG have different things inside them that have to do with tools. Code GNG10. The Dissent is out. The Mark 47 Dissent is out today. Thanks to CMMG. Appreciate y'all. All right, let's get into this, guys and gals. I'm going to do a quick breakdown of how I think today went for the Rahimi case. We'll talk about the other two cases, or the one major case that's coming up. So today the Supreme Court heard the Rahimi case. And the Rahimi case, I'll link above. We've discussed it a bunch before. But it has to do with people who are under a civil domestic violence restraining order and have lost their Second Amendment rights. We know the story. You should know the story. If you are on a domestic violence restraining order, then you are a prohibited person. Even though you've done nothing to lose your right, and you've never been convicted of a crime, you lose your right, and it's being challenged. Now, Rahimi, I've covered this numerous times, he's not a great cat, right? He likes to do crimes and break laws. However, criminals have due process rights as well. Criminals are Americans. They're part of this process in the judicial system, which is supposed to run the same way for everybody. So Rahimi got jammed up on a domestic violence restraining order. When he was on that domestic violence restraining order, he was caught with a gun, thrown in jail because he was supposed to be a prohibited person. He's challenged the whole thing. And while he was sitting in jail, the Bruin decision came out. He then appealed, and here we are. The Supreme Court took it up. Now, I listened to this with my wife in the car. Sorry, honey, because we weren't here. And the line of questioning from the justices, you could see the demarcation. Like the liberal justices, the ones who lean towards the Communist American Party, they're gonna vote against this. They're not gonna say that Rahimi has a right to the Second Amendment, even though he's under a domestic violence restraining order. Now, Alito and Thomas, maybe one or two others sounded like, yeah, they might, but when it comes to the line of questioning, I myself have thought cases would go one way, and the ruling has come a total different way. So we'll see. I mean, I covered the Bruin decision. I covered the Bruin hearing live, and when I heard that case, I was like, this is going to be a slam dunk. And it was, but we heard other cases that we've covered here live, and I was like, this is a great case. We didn't win. So we'll see what happens when the Supreme Court issues their ruling. It won't be issued until probably June. That's when they usually drop their rulings before they go on their summer break. But the Rahimi case was heard today. And to talk about the two other cases that the Supreme Court took up, the first one is the BUMPSTOCK challenge. Yes, the Michael Cargill case. That case is very, very strong. It's challenging the Donald Trump BUMPSTOCK ban that the Joe Biden administration is defending. They're saying that a slidey piece of plastic on the back of a firearm turns it into a machine gun. It is, they changed the definition for an accessory. The accessory does not do anything all by itself. The trigger has to be reset every single time. I've covered the BUMPSTOCK cases numerous times. If you're new to the channel, use the search feature. I've done probably 6 or 7 videos on the different BUMPSTOCK cases out there. So the Cargill case is going to be heard by the Supreme Court. That could be huge. Why? Well, we know that the ATF is not legislatively given permission to make law, right? But they continue to try to do it with their stupid rule changes. And they changed the rule, a definition of a machine gun. illegally, unconstitutionally, because only Congress can do that. Congress never did it, a bill never made it to the president, and a president never signed it. Thus, it's not an actual law. They can't change the rules. And thanks to a case that we got a ruling on last June, and that's the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency versus West Virginia, the Supreme Court said in that case, hey, EPA, you can't make law. You cannot legislate. And we know that's what the ATF is doing, so I look forward to that case being heard. Don't have it scheduled yet. I will let you know more when we know more, but that's going to be good. And that could affect, if that case goes the way it should, that will definitely affect not only the bump stock ruling, but the changes that the ATF's made on parts kits and frames and receivers and FRT triggers and pistol braces, and the list will keep going on as they keep trying to take away a right that they don't give. Funny how that works out. So that's the Cargill case, the bump stock case. The other case is NRA's case. Here's the Supreme Court release on both the cases. You can see the Cargill v. Garland case is the top one there. And then the third one is the NRA versus Maria Volo case. And that is a case, that's a First Amendment case, and how New York is looking to restrict the right to free speech of the NRA. And as you know, the NRA has had issues in New York, and in this case, they're being told they can't say things because the government doesn't like it. So that case has been taken up too, and that's a First Amendment case. So we'll see what happens with all three of these cases right now. Will they say that if you're on a domestic violence restraining order, that you no longer have a right to keep and bear arms, or right to defend yourself just because you have a civil case lodged against you? It's interesting where we go with that. That's 922G is the law on that. The bump stock ruling is that bump stock rule has to be destroyed, and then can a Second Amendment advocacy group exercise their First Amendment? Three things, three good rulings, hopefully, three good decisions. And I will keep you up to date, guys and gals. Head over there to CMMG and use my code GNG10 to save big, even on tools. If you buy a tool, you get that mystery box as well, and it won't last long. Guys and gals, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you for your time. If you're watching this today as I'm recording it, it is now, I don't know, 2:45 on Tuesday, the 7th of November. I'm going to be on Newsmax tonight, Chris Salcido show with Cam Edwards of Bearing Arms. Be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. That's what it's all about. And the ever-controlling American Communist Party wants to take that from you. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.